Coming up on Channel 8 News, Women's Studies hosts a Take Back the Night March, and the Topeka Zoo gets 3 new family members.
We take an in-depth look at surviving finals week, and we get a special visit from the K-State fishing team.
Morgan Hulsman has the latest at Fort Riley's obstacle course. Morgan?
Hey guys, we're out here in Fort Riley where the soldiers are training for the air assault boot camp tomorrow. We'll come back out here and you can hear from one of the sergeant majors who are letting these soldiers go through the obstacle course.
With finals coming up next week, I know that all of you K-State students will, like me, be spending that week studying. But will you want to be studying inside or out? Join me for this week's weather forecast to find out.
This is Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. From Manhattan and Riley County. From Kansas State University, this is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Shelby Brunk.
And I'm Lindsay McNary. Coming up on today's show, a guide to surviving finals,
as well as tips from the K-State fishing team and this week's weather forecast.
But first, the news.
On Friday night, RCPD filed a rape report in which a woman was sexually assaulted by 2 different men at 2 different times of the night. The victim was reportedly intoxicated and unable to give consent. No arrests have been made as RCPD is continuing its investigation. A 63-year-old man is being accused of raping a 48-year-old woman that he knew. According to RCPD, the man is accused of unwanted digital penetration. Further information has been withheld in this case due to its sensitive nature.
Since the 1970s, Take Back the Night has been educating the public on stark realities of sexual assault.
The K-State Women's Center hosts the annual spring event here in Manhattan. Reporter Katie Watkins felt the impact of their message.
That's right. I attended the event last Wednesday and I learned some interesting facts on sexual assault prevention and awareness, and I was just completely overwhelmed by the passion that these women showed.
Sounds of chanting filled the air Wednesday night as K-State women, students, and faculty members marched through Aggieville to take back the night. The Take Back the Night event strives to end sexual violence in all forms and bring awareness to the nocturnal dangers faced by women.
They want to be able to go out at night and be safe and have a good experience and not fear getting assaulted by someone that could be potentially out on the streets.
The evening started out with Fear versus Truth, a question and answer session and discussion panel that was held at the Riley County Courthouse. Members of the Manhattan community, Fort Riley soldiers, and Miss Golden Belt Michelle Page were all in attendance.
And we're just very excited for it to continue going on and having so many people participate in it and be ready to continue on and make it the best experience as possible.
Festivities concluded in Bosco Plaza, where survivors of sexual violence recited poetry, shared their stories, and students participated in various arts and crafts activities.
I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do.
The night was a success, all thanks to the people that showed up and shared their support and the brave speakers who shared their stories.
Katie, how can people get involved with Take Back the Night for the future years?
You can get involved by just stopping at Holton Hall on campus at the Women's Center, and then you can look up the Women's Center on the K-State website and just follow all of their social media outlets.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks so much, Katie.
All right, the Riley County Police Department cracked down on the underage drinking over the weekend, issuing 20 citations. All but one of the citations were issued to people who are underage. RCPD also announced that on May 10th, they will conduct a DUI checkpoint. This crackdown comes on the heels of a former Manhattan High student dying at Arizona State while she was heavily intoxicated. And Manhattan is getting a new friend from overseas. ICE Corporation is building a wing to their Amherst Avenue location. The company was formed and is operated by K-State students and graduates. Construction for the addition will begin late summer and early fall and will double the amount of production. ICE was recently bought by Ultra Electronics from Middlesex, England. The British company paid $8.6 million for the acquisition. Ultra Electronics is a producer of defense, security, transport, and energy technology. We're going to take a break from hard-hitting news, started with a guide to surviving finals.
And later in the show, we go live at the Fort Riley obstacle course, so stay with us.
I like K-State mainly for the family atmosphere.
Once you're here, you're greeted with a smiling face.
You can step onto K-State's campus and feel that without even talking to anyone, that it's welcoming.
The administrators and faculty, they remember your name.
Anywhere you go, someone's there to help you and to smile at you.
Half of campus is going to be wearing purple, and you know that there's that K-State pride.
It's really evident that you can do something and you can be somebody and you can really define yourself here.
I'm a part of the campus.
K-State to me is home.
And that kind of gives me a sense of place.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Line's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10-5. Touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
We are only days away from that special time in every college student's heart.
That graduation?
I wish. No, finals. Every college student has to put up with them.
Well, that's right. Even reporter Matt Harrison and our own Lindsay McNary has to endure that.
Exactly. Lindsay and I went hunting last weekend to seek the answers behind surviving finals week.
The darkest time of a college student's life is upon us once again. During finals week, everybody's sanity is at risk. No one is safe. And Lindsay McNary here will help show everyone a little guide on how to survive the dark times. Let's begin. Step 1, probably the most important, have a mental breakdown. This step could take from a minute up to several hours depending on your current sanity level. Step 2, figure out your schedule. It's important to know exactly when your finals are so you time it right for studying. Step 3, assemble study guides, build flashcards, copy all of your class notes onto one big document. Step 4, watch Psych. Wait, what? No, that's wrong. Lindsay, what are you doing? That's procrastination at its finest. Come on, girl, get it together. Step 5, stare at your notes. It's recommended at this step that you obtain some nourishment from a sub sandwich or some Call Hall ice cream. Step 6, enter your finals room with confidence. A little too much confidence. Much better. Step 7, turn in your work and celebrate your accomplishment. Optional, collapse in fear and dread over your imminent failure. Nah, just kidding. I'm sure you did fine. Just focus hard, don't lay up, and keep your eye on the ball. Well, for some this will be easier. Poor Lindsay. Good luck and happy studying.
For what it's worth, I'm hoping this guide will come in handy for everyone in the studio today.
I know that guide will definitely come in handy for me. I hope.
Well, hopefully everyone heeds from that advice and takes some of those tips for themselves. Thanks for the wisdom, Matt.
No problem.
Activists are attempting to immortalize the many lives lost in a traffic accident in early April. The memorials would serve as honor of the 700 turkeys who died in the accident. The wreck occurred along the banks of the Deer Creek Reservoir in Utah when a truck hauling the birds overturned. PETA's proposal was denied by the Utah Department of Transportation because it did not meet the policy standards for roadside memorials. The driver and 20 of the turkeys survived the ordeal. The Scottish town of St. Andrews unveiled a new statue to celebrate one of the town's most celebrated residents. Hamish Micamish is a 14-year-old cat. The town raised over $8,000 to build the statue. One of the humans who helped create the statue, Flora Selwyn, said, "Our statue is a way of saying thank you to Hamish for being so perfectly adorable and to celebrate the joy that he brings us." The Topeka Zoo expanded their family with 3 new babies.
Channel 8 reporter Katie Watkins took a special trip to Topeka to get the story.
Jinja wasn't moving much the day we were there. She had a surprise coming for everybody. It's been a whirlwind of a weekend for the Topeka Zoo, as zoo staff geared up for the birth of 3 Sumatran tiger cubs. First-time mom Jinja has received a lot of attention, as there are only 500 of these tigers left in the wild.
Me and the vet staff and the keeper that were in here.
Animal care supervisor Shanna Simpson took us behind the scenes at the Topeka Zoo.
And we saw 3 cubs, and we saw little tiny fetuses, and I mean, you should have seen us. We were literally jumping for joy. We're like, ooh, see this! And so it was so exciting, just that moment of what we've been working on and working hard on and getting ready for, to finally see those cubs on the ultrasound machine. So awesome.
The zoo was worried of how good of a mom Jinja would be. However, they were hopeful.
We literally could not ask for a better pregnancy. I mean, it has been so smooth. She has calmed down a little bit. She's a very high-strung animal, gets very excited, and she's really fun to work with. But since her pregnancy, she's really just kind of chilled down a bit. So that's hopeful for us, because we were worried, about her excitement and possibly, getting on the cubs, and because she's just so high-strung. So hopefully, with her calming down, motherhood's kind of sinking in.
She had her cubs the very next day. In this surveillance photo, you can see Jinja's eyes staring ahead, but right below her is a cub curled up underneath. In this picture, you can see a clearer shot of the cub snuggling. A less focused shot, but if you look closely, you see a more closer look at the cub's features. And here is the most recent picture of all 3 cubs with their claws sticking out. Clearly, they are ready to make their mark on the world.
A young woman in Norway has spent the last year living in a cave. Ida Bita Loken, a college student, decided to reside in her rocky dwelling in order to reduce her environmental impact to close to nothing. Loken sleeps in a sleeping bag on top of a mattress, on top of a bed of straw, with a blanket, and drinks rainwater she catches in a bowl. Surprising absolutely no one, Kansas has been listed as one of the nerdiest states in the nation. According to the blog Estately, Kansas ranks as the 12th nerdiest state in the country. Utah came in at number 1 and Washington, D.C. came in dead last. The study was done using data from Facebook based on what residents' interests were in certain topics, ranging anywhere from Harry Potter to Star Trek.
We're going to take a quick break, but coming up, Channel 8 reporter Morgan Hulsman is live at Fort Riley.
With the weather finally heating up, anglers are knee-deep in water somewhere, and the K-State fishing team casts some tips our way when we come back.
Kenya, Africa. A baby elephant is trapped in a waterhole. Researchers rush to the rescue, and a 400-pound baby elephant and its agitated, dangerous mother are finally reunited. One of those researchers is K-State alumnus Mark Sowers. While at K-State, he used telemetry to study bison on the Konza Prairie Biological Station, a skill he now uses to study and help elephants, his lifelong dream. That's the Wildcat Way.
Who is going to help safely feed 9 billion people in the year 2050? Who will design sustainable cities that can flourish? Who is going to shed light on dark matter and origins of the universe? Where will we teach the scientists who will engineer our future? At one of the world's top research universities, Kansas State University.
In 2005, a Kansas State aviation student volunteered to be a mechanic for the Global Flyer ground team in Salina, Kansas. Jim Reed's love of aviation and being a mechanic converged that day, and his career took flight. Employed by Virgin Galactic, he now helps build spaceships. Spaceships for those who want to see planet Earth like an astronaut. That's the Wildcat Way.
Welcome back. We sent reporter Morgan Hulsman to Fort Riley to check out their strenuous obstacle course.
We join Morgan live now. Morgan?
Sergeant Major Kelly. Sergeant Major, can you tell us?
Go.
Hey guys, we are out here with Sergeant Major Kelly. Sergeant Major, can you tell us a little bit about what these guys are doing out here today?
Today we have the instructors out here, and they're going through all the obstacles to make sure we can properly demonstrate how to do the obstacles for students that are getting ready to go to the Army's Air Assault course. And the air assault course will teach them not only how to move in helicopters, how to land them, how to guide them in, but also how to package equipment that'll be transported on those helicopters.
And can you show us a little bit of a demonstration?
Sure. This obstacle is the tough one. I have 2 demonstrators. Specialist Harrington, enter the pit. There's all. Go ahead and negotiate the obstacle.
Okay, now Sergeant, can you tell us a little bit about what other obstacles that they have to go through when it comes to this kind of training?
They have other obstacles that test their upper body strength, but also balance. So they have some low climb overs where they'll negotiate a wall and then slide down the other side. They also low crawl on their belly underneath some wire, and they have one called the Weaver. That they also go through, that they have to weave in between logs in sort of a pyramid fashion.
And when it's windy like this or the weather conditions are different, how does that change obstacle courses?
You just have to have more safety added to it, more instructors on the ground to watch to make sure that everything's going okay.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank you very much for letting us be out here with you today.
No problem.
And back to you guys.
Thanks, Morgan. The weather is finally out of the ice age and summer is thankfully here.
Weatherman Jason Beets joins us to give us some warm news. Jason, please tell us that the weather is here to stay.
Indeed. It seemed like that winter lasted forever. It was so cold for so long.
It really did.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the weather has taken a turn for the better, and it seems like, at least for now, it is here to stay. If we could take a look outside, we can see that it is nice and warm and sunny. Perhaps a little hot for some tastes, but pretty good for mine. And so let's see if we can bring it to our forecast for this week. So as you can see, it is 70 in Los Angeles. It is 66 in New York. And then in the heartland, it's actually the warmest with 93 in Omaha. And if we look at our Kansas map, we can see that it's 85 in Goodland. And then in KC, it's 85, and then in Riley County, it is 93. Taking a look at our 5-day weather forecast, right now it is 93 degrees, and for the rest of the week, we have mid-70s to low 80s, and a chance of thunderstorms for the rest of the week. So it looks like if you're looking to see where, if you're going to study inside or out, that you're going to want to study outside, so long as it's not raining or thundering. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jason. Coming up next, Nick Wall has the latest in K-State sports world.
And he gets schooled with the K-State fishing team, so stay tuned.
Class, study. Class, eat. Play, play, play. Study. Class, chill. Class, eat. Study, play, study. Sometimes it seems there just aren't enough hours in the day at our 3 campuses, so you have to make every minute count, especially those precious first few. That's why Kansas State alum Herbert Diamond invented the snooze alarm, a dorm room fixture. Because even when you can't wait to get started, sometimes it's nice to wait to get started. Where there's a wildcat, there's a way. Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of K-State Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, K-State Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. K-State Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back. We've got Nick Wall here with sports.
The K-State track and field team hosted a meet over the weekend, didn't they, Nick?
Yeah, they did. And while most of the happenings within the K-State Athletic Department have been away from Manhattan recently, the women's basketball team has news from the home front. The Wildcat head coach Jeff Mittie has infused some Wildcat blood into his coaching staff. As expected, former K-State guard Claire Coggins will remain with K-State. The lone holdover from the Deb Patterson era, the former two-time All-Big 12 performer will make the transition from director of basketball operations to assistant coach as the Mittie era begins with the 2014-15 season. And turning to the track, K-State hosted the first of two back-to-back meets on Saturday. While the team results weren't kind to K-State, several individual Wildcat performances highlighted the competition against athletes from Kansas, Wichita State, and Air Force at the Ward Haylett Invitational. Danny Winter's personal best of 15.9 meters was good enough to place second behind KU standout Anastasia Mushkiev in the women's shot put. Alice Treasure, ranked number 4 nationally in the high jump, cleared a career best 1.85 meters to take the high jump title, and Sarah Savatovic and Danny Plank also took first place in the hammer throw and javelin throw respectively. Turning to the track, the women's 4x100 relay edged Wichita State in 43.15 seconds, nipping the Shockers by just 0.5 seconds. Erica Twist blew away the field in the 100-meter hurdles. Her personal best 13.37 was nearly a half second better than any other racer. Twist also took home the 400 hurdles title, and Sonia Gaskin was edged at the finish by KU Olympian Diamond Dixon in the 400. Gaskin's 52.81 finish was a personal best and the 6th fastest time in K-State history. For the men, senior Carlos Rogers helped the men's 4x100 relay race to victory in a season best 40.41 seconds. Rogers also won with the 400 with a personal best of 46.8. And Ryan Hirschberger dominated the shot put with a throw of 18.86 meters. Ivan Hartug won the javelin. Kyle Waite had the high mark in the pole vault at 5.25 meters. And while Zach Riley bested a loaded high jump field in tough conditions, clearing 2.1 meters, K-State Miles Bearden also cleared 2.10, but the win was Riley's due to less failed attempts. K-State will host the Wildcat Open on Saturday. Moving on to women's rowing, the team was strong at the Big 12 Championships, taking second to Big 12 Championship Oklahoma. The Wildcats got strong performances from the second varsity 4 crew who won their race. K-State's top-seeded first and second varsity 8 boats were strong, but were unable to keep pace with the Oklahoma crews. The second place performance was K-State's best since 2009, and in stark contrast to last season, the rowers next head to the national qualifier at the Conference USA Championships in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, May 17. And it has been a rocky road for K-State baseball this season. The Wildcats inched closer to a first-to-worst situation, dropping 6 straight games in 3 sets at West Virginia and TCU. K-State scored just 15 runs on the trip, and that included a 21-7 drubbing by TCU as their Big 12 record fell to 4-14 in Big 12 play. The Wildcats, they played Wichita State last night, kind of got back on track with a 10-4 victory. They'll wrap up a disappointing season with home series against Oklahoma State and Texas beginning Friday with an outside shot to qualify for the Big 12 championship. But as bad as the news has been for the Batcats, there is good news on the horizon for local anglers. Crappie spawn is on full swing and the bass fishing is just heating up. And let me introduce you to 2 of the members of the K-State fishing team. We got Graham Howard and Sheldon Rogie, 2 freshman members of the club. Guys, let me ask you a little bit about the fishing team and just maybe some fishing advice overall. So first off, where do you guys compete and how do you get there?
We compete all around the U.S. We travel down to Alabama. We mainly stay in the southern states. We only have 1 tournament in the Midwest this year.
And how do you guys pay for that stuff?
A lot of it's funded through the club. We do fundraisers and shirt sales and different things to fund it.
Well, good luck on the season, guys. Now, we have Graham here. He's got his fishing rod. Let's see how you can cast, my friend.
I can cast pretty good.
I think you can, and he's shown he can cast with the best of them.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. I'm going to give it a shot. Just like that.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Always.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'll kick it back inside to you in the studio. This is Nick Wall with Sports, Channel 8 News.
Thanks for those updates, Nick. Coming up, we'll take one last walk in the sun.
And say our final goodbye for this semester. Stay tuned.
It was a routine grain elevator inspection until the explosions began. until a blast tossed him more than 300 feet. Then it became the event that changed Kevin Saunders forever. The body of this K-State alum was broken, but his spirit, well, that spirit not only survived, it thrived. Against all odds, Saunders transformed himself into the world's greatest wheelchair athlete, one of America's premier motivational speakers, and the first Paralympian appointed to the President's Council on Physical Fitness, Sport, and Nutrition. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Nearly 150 years ago, the first native limestone was carved into the campus of Kansas State University. Since that time, K-State has known what it takes to rise to the challenge. Now, we're challenging ourselves to become a top 50 public research university by the year 2025. To reach that status, our research dollars, endowment, career award winners, and patents are growing to match our internationally recognized programs and research. K-State 2025 is more than a challenge, it's a commitment. A commitment we'll keep. Because where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Finals week can leave students feeling like they're losing their minds. But for one student, he lost more than just his mind.
An unnamed Louisiana State University student was seen studying in the nude on Tuesday on the 4th floor of the campus library. Social media had a field day with those bare facts.
LSU's campus store sent students a good luck for their finals with an image of the man who's now been dubbed the Naked Studier.
That's one way to get motivated, I guess.
I guess so. We have just enough time to take one last look at the weather.
Jason, how's it looking outside?
Okay, so as you can see, it is plenty hot outside, and it looks like we're going to have a cooler, much better week. It might be a little rainy, but other than that, looks like a great week in store for K-State and for Manhattan.
Channel 8 News is produced by the students of the A.Q. Miller School of Journalism and Mass Communications. This is our final show of the semester.
Many of us will be leaving Channel 8 News, others will be returning next fall. Many of the members of our class will be graduating soon. It has been an honor for us to be able to inform the public and serve the community over the past semester.
For all of us at Channel 8 News, thank you for watching.